Told you guys Tom Taylor was my best friend. What's going on, guys? I'm Simple Simon, and before I show you my short little interview with Tom Taylor, I want to explain why getting this interview was so important to me. So a lot of you probably don't know unless you've been a follower of mine since the beginning, which is mostly none of you. But a few years ago, I had no idea who Tom Taylor was. I was at a convention and I went to get my Spider-Man book signed by Nick Spencer. Super excited. No one was in line for Nick Spencer. And I noticed right next to him there was some guy who had a massive line of people. Turns out it was Tom Taylor. And at the time I was like, I don't know you. So the next con I went to, which was a few months later, I realized I had Tom Taylor books. So I got Tom to sign a few books. And then literally 3 or 4 days after that, he came into my workplace. I was like, is that Tom Taylor? And I wasn't positive. So I had to scope him out. So he wanted to buy an iPad and I was like, cool. What are you using it for, man? What do you do? And he was like, I write comics. I was like, yes, you signed my books a few days ago. Fully fanboyed out on him. Even asked him for a selfie. That was not embarrassing at all. And ever since then, DCeased from my buddy, Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor is my boy. My buddy, Tom Taylor. Yeah, that's right, we're buddies. I'm telling you that. The writer, Tom
Taylor, he's got to go Tom Taylor.
Of course, my buddy Tom Taylor.
His boy.
My buddy
Tom Taylor.
I think Tom Taylor, my homeboy. My boy, Tom Taylor. By my best buddy, Tom Taylor. Yeah, we hang out. No, we don't. But so yeah, me and Tom Taylor were never best friends. But hey, we are now. Hope you guys enjoy this interview with Tom. He's a really cool dude. And yeah, enjoy this video and keep it simple. Hey guys, I am Simple Simon and I'm here with my best buddy, Tom Taylor. How you going, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm great. How's the event been, man? How you finding being back at cons?
It's bizarre. I mean, it's fantastic to be back. I didn't think I'd miss conventions, and yet I certainly did. You know, it's nice to put out all this stuff over the last year and have people come up to you and go, hey, I read it. You know all that time you spent just doing this? Yeah, somebody actually read that. It's good to know. Yeah.
How do you compare conventions, I guess, like local conventions here compared to the ones you go to overseas?
Look, they're all very similar. You'd be surprised. So just picture this, but with 160,000 people and no room to breathe. Yeah, that's the main difference.
Okay. With all the stuff that you've been writing recently, obviously Nightwing's been a massive hit.
Yep.
7 Secrets is just absolutely very successful as well. What do you prefer to write? Do you prefer to write indie stuff or do you prefer to write the characters that you grew up to?
I like writing everything. It's kind of weird. Like I don't have a preference for a book or anything. It's kind of like when you write something, they all become your children. And like, I'm not allowed to say at home which one of my favorite kids is, you know. I mean, hopefully they've worked it out. But yeah, it's just one of those things. You fall in love with the character you're writing at the time. They're the voice that's going around in your head. They're the conversations that are happening, whether it's Casper and the Holders and the Keepers in 7 Secrets, or whether it's Nightwing and Babs in Nightwing, or Superman, or whatever. That you get a real attachment to the characters no matter what you were writing.
Do you have, like, who were your favorite characters growing up?
Superman.
Okay.
So Superman's my fave. And
you're only writing the new Superman book, right?
I am the new writer of Superman, which is amazing. And Nightwing was a big fave too. So that when that opportunity came up, I had a number of sort of offers, and one was Nightwing, and I'm like, yes, I want to write Nightwing and write it as well as I possibly can. Yeah.
Are there any characters that you haven't written that you would like to write in the future?
Not a lot. It's like I don't know. I get the feeling I'm just getting more and more chances to write whatever I'd like, and I've obviously written a lot of characters over the course between even out of continuity with DCeased and Injustice. I'm writing a great big Marvel epic at the moment with a whole lot of characters there. You know, getting a chance to write Spider-Man was fantastic, and Iron Man, and yeah.
So I find, obviously I've only been into comic books for a few years, but I find comic book fans are very passionate, right?
Yes.
They can get very upset.
Yes.
When you write something, right? Yeah. So I find you're one of the few writers that nobody has a bad thing to say about. You are universally loved.
Yeah. So I don't think you've ever been on the internet.
What the fuck is the internet?
Yeah, so the internet, I'm not universally loved. Yeah, it's an interesting place.
Everyone I speak to has nothing but good things to say about you, mate. So
that's nice.
A question I like to ask people who are masters of their craft is, For someone who's maybe an aspiring writer who wants to get into the field of writing comic books,
Yep.
what advice would you give that person?
My advice would be make comic books. It's, don't expect that you're going to sell something to DC or Marvel straight off the bat. Find an artist, find a writer, whatever it is, and start making comic books. Learn the craft, study it. Find what you love the most about comics, and remember that comics are an entertainment industry, so remember to entertain. Don't just write for the sake of it. Remember that you need to entertain people. Make people feel something, make the characters want something, find a reason they can't get it, create drama, create heart, be funny.
Yeah. Is there anything you got coming up?
Heaps, yes. Giant Marvel thing which will be announced soon, Superman #1, some TV stuff which I can't talk about. Can I talk about? Nightwing, more Nightwing. Batman the Detective, which is Batman in Europe, set kind of vaguely in the future-ish. It's very weird.
I actually did a video on my channel a little while ago where me and my comic shop owner, which I do the videos with, we created our own creative team. So we're like, what book? Who you want to write it? Who you want to draw it?
Yeah.
And this was going back a year ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, Batman?
Yeah.
Tom Taylor is my writer.
Right.
So it came true, man, and I'm very happy. I haven't actually started reading it. I've got both issues, but I haven't started reading, but I'm really excited.
It's pretty good, I've read it.
Yeah? It's all right?
Yeah. Not bad.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this, man. I really appreciate your time. Where can people follow you on the social media?
At Tom Taylor Made, at all the places, Instagram, Twitter, etc. Yeah.
Thanks so much, man. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I am Simple Simon. This is Tom Taylor.
Keep it simple.
Appreciate it so
Cheers,
much, man.